Hello, everyone. Happy Friday afternoon. It's Juli once again, coming to you live from Laval. This week, as usual, I have another amazing business partner. Who is willing to share her story in my page. Thank you so much for the followers that I'm getting lately. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Julieta. I work in construction as an engineer, and the 2.5 years around that I started working online, earning an income online. So what I do every Friday is bring a different partner so they share their story. And today I have Agnes from Vancouver, and I will just invite her. Bear with me. Hi, Agnes.
Hi, Huli.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. It's Friday.
Yeah.
It's great. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. No,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no. Thank you for accepting my invitation. You're a special guest.
I feel so honored.
Yes, absolutely. So, Agnes, like I was just saying, we try to bring our audience some insights, of why we're working online. How is it that, we came across this business, and I ask people to share a little bit about themselves. So, if you don't mind, could you introduce yourself to our audiences?
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Agnes Harding. I am married. I live in Vancouver, Canada, as Huli said. I was actually born and raised in Vancouver. I have lived in other parts of the world very briefly, but Vancouver is my home. I've been in this business for just over 3.5 years. And before that, I was actually in the corporate world. I was in purchasing and I was there for 21 years. So, to be specific, I was at the same job for 21 years.
Wow, that's good.
So, I know, talk about loyalty, right?
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, so after about, within a year of starting this business, I was able to quit my career and do this full time. So here I am.
Great. Oh, that's really, really motivating. And Agnes, 21 years. What happened after 21 years that you decided to look elsewhere? I mean, you could have changed your job, but you decided to go online. What was going through your mind?
Well, it was actually a combination of things, right? So as I don't know how many people have had, jobs for 21 years, but you go through a lot of changes and you see a lot of changes. Some are good, some are bad, right? And after 21 years of doing the same thing, I was starting to get tired of it, right? It was the challenge was different, right? As some of as you climb up the corporate ladder, you get more responsibilities, and along with the responsibilities comes more stress, right?
Yes.
And to be honest, if a lot of people, if you don't know this, when you climb that corporate ladder, yes, your salary increases, but the hours you put into your work also increases. That's what a lot of people don't actually see, right? So if you do the math, you might not actually be making a lot more than you were when you were just, at a lower position, right? But on top of that, you get a lot more stress. So that was one of the reasons. And I the one thing that was really stopping me from changing what I was doing was my comfort level, right?
Yes.
So I was there for 21 years. Can you imagine how comfortable I was?
Sure.
Right? I knew the company, from top to bottom. I knew what everybody did. I knew, everything about the company, right? And it was really hard to leave because of that comfort zone. I did attempt to look for other jobs, but I thought to myself, if I found another job, I would just be starting from scratch, but things won't really change, right? You're still in that same position you are, just at a different job, right? So,
Totally.
um, I was actually contemplating for a couple of years on what to do, right? And um, my husband and I talked about it, and we even thought about starting our own company. He's originally from Ireland, so he's kind of fresh from Ireland. So he thought of wanting to open up a pub, but I didn't want a brick and mortar. I didn't want something that I knew I would actually have to spend even more hours, you know, throughout the day, working at building instead of working in a corporate job, right?
Yes, I know.
And to be honest, my line in the sand moment is kind of sad. My line in the sand moment came when my I get really emotional when I talk about this still,
Oh,
when my mom got really sick all of a sudden, and she almost passed away on us overnight. So that was really my line in the sand moment. And that's what made me really want that change in my life,
yeah.
because I know that she she was an immigrant, right? She was an immigrant from China. She worked hard, just like my dad, right? They came with nothing. They worked really hard to get to just to give us a better life, right? Because that's what all immigrants want to do. They want to give their family a better life, right?
Yeah.
And so she worked really hard, multiple jobs, same with my dad. And her health, we thought was fine, but all of a sudden, one day, soon after her retirement, she got really sick, and she almost didn't make it. So that was really what struck me, and that's what made me kind of reevaluate my life and where it was going. And I didn't want, for one thing, I wanted to be able to be there for her, right? Because her health did really deteriorate really fast. So I wanted to be there for her. Really wanted to make sure that she's comfortable, she's cared for, she has everything she needs, right? And having a corporate job that wasn't going to allow me to do any of that stuff. So, finding one of the things is finding something that was flexible was really important, right? And um, yeah, and
Wow.
yeah,
But
it's hard.
yes,
Yeah,
I relate to what you mentioned about your parents, because I myself, I am an immigrant here, and it is hard. It is hard. I can imagine back then, it must have been even harder, because the country now is very, very, very used to, and it's prepared for immigrants. But back then it was a little bit less. I'm sure of that. Now there's a lot of support, help, and things to help people get started. But it's still difficult. When we come here, we leave our families all the way back home. And myself, I had my mom pass away on 2020. Yeah, there was the pandemic there and everything, but I still, it was a really, really hard moment. If I would have had the flexibility to not just say, leave everything and fly, at that moment it wasn't possible, because not of the job, it was other circumstances, unfortunately, right? But it does happen. In that was a couple of days ago, I was doing a video, and I was passing my message to immigrants. And one of the things, I don't know if you relate, in your culture maybe, but in our Latin culture, I come from Argentina. um, and what I'm going to say, it's good in a way, and it's bad in a different, in the same way. It's good and bad at the same time. We are sometimes very skeptical of the things that are presented to us. I don't know in your culture, like I said, but I know in mine, and in kind of every Latin American country, we have that skepticism in our culture, because I don't know if it's history of our countries. We are born with that, and when we're presented these opportunities, we tend to not believe that they can be true. We're always thinking, okay, where's the catch? There's something hidden, there has to be something. This cannot be possible. Working online, it just can't be, because otherwise everybody would do it, right? That's why we always think,
No, yeah, you're right. Everybody, well, definitely the Chinese are very skeptical as well, right? I think it runs in a lot of cultures. I think in general, just the human nature, everybody is,
and
the majority is very skeptical, right?
yes, yes. And I just want to say hi to Priscilla. She's watching. Hi, girls. Nice to see you watching from Ottawa. She's my mentee, and she's from Argentina as well. And she won't let me lie. We are skeptical by nature. And talking about that, how did you embrace that skepticism? I don't know if it was your case. I know I had a bit of
Yeah.
skepticism when I was presented this opportunity. That happen to you?
Yeah. So, it's okay. It's actually pretty natural to be skeptical. The only thing that I did to make sure that it was, legit, it was real, is, you do your own homework, right? Do your
Yes.
own research. Talk to people who are in there. That's really how you get over that skepticism, right? Is
Yeah.
to do your own due diligence, do your own homework on, the opportunity that you're looking into.
Yes. Yes.
And when you're happy with all the answers that you get, then move forward, right?
Yes. At least, I always say, to people, do the homework and search for the person who's been presenting the opportunity to you. At least that's what I did. When I saw the ad, I looked up the girl's name left and right, in Google, the back and forth, everything. And all I saw was good things. And like anything, if you look for bad, you're going to find bad too, because
Mhm.
everything has good and bad reviews. If you look up, I don't know, one of I don't know, any brands, Google, Apple, or I don't know, Android, whatever your phone is, you're gonna find good and bad reviews, but they're still good brands,
Yeah,
right? Whether you like them or not, there's always going to be people happy and people unhappy. That's 100%. That's always.
yeah,
But so it's just a matter of doing the homework and trying to be able to make a decision on your own, based on your own findings, right? And asking questions, contacting the person, and eventually joining our community, and being able to receive all the information and process that information to see if we have the business model that fits people's needs. And I know you are very implicated in our community, and I really like that. But I wanted to ask you, what's the best thing? What do you enjoy most about our community, our business?
really, it's all the people, right? We have quite a huge community of people,
Yes,
and it's really great that you get to meet so many different people that you would not meet otherwise, right? Like,
totally. Yes.
there are so many people that I coach and I mentor, and if it wasn't for this business, I would never have met them. And they are some of the most loveliest people you will ever meet, right? And it gives you such a broad spectrum of people too, right? Different characteristics, different personalities. Like, it's yeah. And the good thing about our community is that everybody is focused on the same thing, right? That's why it's that's why we talk about a lot about supporting each other, right? Even though we don't necessarily benefit from each other financially,
Mhm.
we still benefit from one another mentally, right?
Yeah.
So it's all the learning, it's all the sharing, it's all the knowledge that everybody shares with each other, and it's just being there, like really support, right? And everybody's gonna have bad days, and the good thing is, that there's a team of people behind you that are supporting you, right? And cheering you on. And whenever you have those bad days, there's always somebody there, right? To cheer
Yeah.
you up. Yeah.
Yes. That's really good. We have a big Spanish community because, like I said, I'm coming from a Latin American country, we tend to gather together, right? And I've met a girl from Australia, which would have never have the chance to meet, because I'm not that I'm going to Australia every week, every year, and we met and we made a great friendship, and hopefully we'll be able to meet one day. And like my mentee from Ottawa, I mean, yeah, she's what, 100 kilometers away, she's pretty close, but still not that I visit Ottawa or she comes here to, I don't know, just find each other in a park by chance. So it is really, really amazing the things this business has done for me personally in terms of relationships. And Agnes, how many hours do you dedicate to your business per day?
That really varies. Some days it's really half an hour, and some days it could be as much as like 6 hours, right? 6 to even maybe 8 hours. So it all depends on the day. Obviously, some days are busier than others, and it's also different when you're mentoring and coaching a lot of people as well. You just need to kind of put the time and effort into helping them, because that's one of your responsibilities, right? Is to help coach and mentor the people who are coming into this business.
Yes.
And you a good mentor and coach will always give time to help, right? and
Yes.
and I just like to show up for the people that I get to mentor and coach. So it all depends. But the
Yeah.
good thing is you can still create your own schedule, right? You don't have to be stuck at a desk or something for the full 8 hours or whatever. You can still create your own schedule, work around whatever you have going on during the day. Sometimes it could be a few hours in the morning, a few hours at night. Like you can. The best thing about this is the flexibility, right? You can do this. It's your own business. It's everybody's own business, right?
Yes. Yes. And Agnes, one last question. What would you tell people that are like what we said before, a little bit skeptical? What's the starting point on getting more information on this business model that we offer?
We do have a live webinar every Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So that would be your first step, right? That
Yeah.
would be the first step of, doing your research, doing your due diligence, doing your homework, right? The webinar will, give you an idea of, all the basic information you need, to have start up your own online business, right?
Yes.
And yeah, so the webinar is definitely the way to go to start. And if you've, been looking at different opportunities already, it's good to do a comparison, right? You have to do your homework with every single opportunity that you come by.
Yes.
And it's really important that you do it properly, right? Because the one thing that you really want to make sure is that once you do decide to start your business, that the support is there. Because from my experience, talking to a lot of people, you can't do an online business yourself. You're never going to succeed. You need the support. Otherwise, you would be spending thousands of dollars trying to take a course, trying to learn everything yourself. Um, you know,
And we
this is
provide everything.
this is the easiest business you'll ever get
Yeah.
into, right? We
Yeah.
provide everything. All the hard technical stuff is already done for you. We provide training on social media marketing, advertising. Like, really, that's all you need to learn, right?
Totally, yes. And
Hmm.
learn, but not like even like memorize or anything. It's just apply what we teach you on the videos, because the
Hmm.
training is video based. And in my case, it works amazingly because I'm very visual. So while I'm doing some steps, if I don't remember, I go back and look, and I always have my second device handy there to, have the training on one side and my computer in the other, and do them. I do as I see the videos. And some things, many things actually, when you set them up once, they're done, and you don't go back to them every day, right? When you set up your business, you set up your business once, and then you just run your business. and
Yeah.
and that's part of the training as well, teaching you how to run the business, how to approach the advertising on different social media platforms and everything that I did not have any experience. I don't know in your case, but I did not whatsoever when I came into this business. But and I was a bit scared about that part, but then I realized I didn't need it. And honestly, you do not need the experience. You're going to learn what you need on the go.
Yeah, so I didn't have any, online experience either. I barely even touched Facebook before I started. So my social media skills weren't very good either.
Right.
But I was a numbers person, right? I was not a marketing or advertising person. I don't know how to do sales. Like I don't know any of that. But you mentioned the training. The best thing about the trainings is that it it's constantly being updated
Yeah.
as social media is constantly changing, right? And
Yeah.
so is our training, right? It changes as social media platforms change, and all that is included, right? You don't have to pay anything extra ever again for
No.
any of the training. So, yeah,
Yeah.
something to think about. Yeah.
Totally. Yes. So in the end, is everybody's decision, and we're only here to bring, our experience, our insight, and our passion, because it shows that we're passionate about this business, and we have a reason to be. So, Agnes, I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for today. I know you have your business to take care of, so I will let you go and enjoy your Friday afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye.